Yeah, you don't gotta push it. Just relax.
Yeah, I'm struggling with technique that I learned wrong. I realize that. So I have to untrain that rudiment that I've wrong. That's what's the only thing that told me up.
Yeah, because the movements are there.
Yep.
You're interesting, dude. Like, working with you has been very interesting because I've never had a student who I could tell his brain or her brain is working right. Like with you, I know you got it.
Yeah,
but mechanically, it's not coming out.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. It's like I've never experienced that. So yeah, you know the pattern.
Yeah.
It's just fucking moving the right way, getting the.
Yep.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
It's feeling. It's more feeling that would come, I guess, after a while in doing it. You're comfortable.
Yep.
You'll get comfortable with doing it.
Yep.
I know when I was doing my stuff, it took me a minute to get like working on stuff and then having the beats over, and then trying to move with it, and at the same time is doing it.
Yeah.
And you know, as practice on it, you get comfortable with the routine. You learn it, and you get it clean. And as you start doing it, the movement starts to come naturally with it. You start naturally feeling how to move with it.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, it flows.
It flows.
It's nice seeing you guys and witnessing how smooth you guys are. Like I see it on video, but like when I see it live, and it's just like you guys are just gelling. It's like everything is just gelling really nice. And it's like I understand like how all that technique is just thrown in, and it just comes out so naturally. That's nice.
You know why though? It's because again, it's like I feel like the advantage that you have here learning from Sin and I is that you get to experience the connection that he and I have with turntables. There's nuances that you're picking up in person, how we touch the record, how we touch the fader, how we even set ourselves up, that you don't pick up when you're watching someone give a tutorial on a YouTube clip or on a Facebook post. So you're picking up these nuances, and these are nuances that we vibe off each other. I mean, Sinister used to come when I was practicing for the DMC in 1992. And I always say this, and it's no disrespect to Sin, but Sin wasn't as good as me.
No.
Right? No. We both learned under Dr. Butcher. And he was our mentor.
That's right.
I practiced with Butcher more than Sin, so I was a little bit ahead of Sin. And when I started practicing for the 1992 DMC, I asked Sin, I was like, yo man, could you come to my house and just time me? I need someone to time my routine so I could understand what I need to take out, what I need to add, whatever. So he would come over to my house and just sit there and time me. He would never touch the turntables. So he would come, I'd give him my G-Shock watch, he'd sit down, and he would time me for like 2-3 hours. Just time me. And we talk, like, yo, should I take this out? What do you think about this? You're like, no, I like this, yes, do this. And he would never show anything physically. He would just verbally tell me shit. Mind you, Sin was not as good as me. But what was happening was he was picking up all of the things that I was doing, all of the ideas, the physicality that I would apply to the turntables. Subconsciously, he was picking that stuff up, like indirectly, just by sitting there and watching me and timing me, and then hearing how I think, hearing my ideas, me telling them, I don't want to do this because this is going to happen, or I like when this happens because I get this sound. Next thing you know, I win the DMC. Thank God I win the DMC. He's up there feeding me records.
Yep. 92.
Right? 92. Like, you'll see the video of him with a flat top. Like, bouncing, feeding me records, right? Next thing you know, Sin is asking me to come to his house to hear him and give him feedback on his routines for the first battle that he was going to enter, which was the 93 New Music Seminar. battle, Clark Kent battle. And I go to his house, and he's doing all this crazy shit with like theme from SWAT. What's the Public Enemy joint that you had?
Can't Trust It.
Can't Trust It.
Dwick.
Dwick. Yeah. His routines with Dwick, and it's like, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, yo, what Sin is doing is variations. Is like a take of the patterns that I applied for my DMC with records like Nobody Beats The Biz and Welcome to the Terrordome, that I never physically sat him down and taught him, but they rubbed off on him subconsciously. You know what I mean? So that's what you're picking up here, like just certain movements that we have, or ways that we approach touching the record, or where we place our record hand. And that ended up happening, I noticed a lot with Sin and I. So it's like, I would do a pattern, never teach it to Sin physically, just do it in front of him 100 times, and then he would go home, learn that pattern. I don't know if it was subconsciously or not, but it's like you would apply that pattern, but then add on to it.
Right.
And so, for example, SWAT is like, if Nobody Beats The Biz, if the patterns on Nobody Beats The Biz is like the stump of a tree.
Yes.
The SWAT routine are like the branches.
Yeah.
Back to this again, funky. So get funky. It's the same thing. It's just being it. The music is different. He gives it a completely different sound. You know what I mean?
Sorry, it's a little rusty.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Yo, you know what's funny? Do the intro part, like when you're first getting into it.
Okay.
Like right before the chase.
You mean the boom? Okay.
Yeah, like when you're starting to set up the chase. I just noticed something too.
Okay.
So, you know when I go, that's that part. It's weird, like, it's almost set up like the Nobody Beats The Biz.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. And then,
so rhythmally, the voice and the instruments and the beats, it's the
it's the same. It's just because it's a different song,
Yeah.
it's giving you different sounds. But I never realized how that part is like the,
That's what I get. When I got that, I built up from that. Just being simple with that. But when I saw Rob use the Biz pattern, I was like, all right, well, I can apply this to this bass line and it sound really good. I think that'll sound good. So I started to do that, and I applied that pattern there. And then from applying that, I started to come up with more stuff, which usually happens. You learn, like when you're beat juggling sometimes, you'll come up with, you start with one set thing, but then as you go, sometimes by accident you'll bump into other stuff.
Yeah.
And it just happens.
Yeah.
You'll bump into it and be like, and then you'll create something else.
Right.
You know, so that's how SWAT was created. It started something simple, then what Rob did, I took a little bit of his idea and just mashed it up, and it just came together.
Yeah. And when Sin talks about like bumping into stuff, that's all subconscious. That's something that I've learned now that like I'm trying to build like a philosophy towards DJing. I'm realizing that when you're doing all this stuff the right way, the funky way, a way that moves other people, it's your subconscious doing it.
That's it.
But when you're doing it and it looks like you're copying, like you're just like someone you could beat juggle and then you could just make a beat, right? And for me, I feel like what people like myself and Sin do on turntables is we make beats on turntables. Beat juggling is just, well, I'm gonna do that technique that I saw Steve D do, or I saw Mista Sinista do.
Right.
Just like beat juggling to me is like a replica of the technique. Like you're regurgitating. You know that there's certain movements. You're just making beats or making a cut as like fucking these
Right,
Harlem
right.
dudes, Raider
Yeah,
and Sean would say,
Yeah, cut.
then that's when you're like in like you're really connecting with the whole style.
That's right.
You know what I mean?